Hey guys, so I logged onto Facebook the other day and I saw Mochy, who's widely regarded as being the best backgammon player in the world, say he's a bit bored practicing with XG playing against the computer. So he's on Bakgammon Galaxy .com and he said he'd play anyone in the top 30 some 11-point matches for some practice. And I thought, hey, it might be quite fun to play the best player in the world and practice with the best player in the world. It's not like I can phone up Roger Federer for a game of tennis, as I'm a tennis enthusiast. But backgammon, the only problem is I logged into Galaxy when it first started a few years ago, but I don't really play on there. I've only played a few matches on there, so I thought I'd come on and check it out and see if I could make it to the top 30 and then stake my challenge against Mochy. So I logged on the other day and my ranking was 15 or 1600, which is what it is to start. And I built it up to about 1968, here you are, which makes me ranked around number 3000 on the site, 3065. So I've got to climb about 3000 ranking spots to be able to challenge Mochy. So that's my goal. And I thought I'd blog the challenge to see if I can make the top 30 on the site, which is nearly all the best players in the world are on the site. You see Zidinka, I think his name is, from Czech, he's 3200, he's the top. Wilcox Snellings is number 2. I don't know some of the other players. Arif, Iranian, but he lives in England, he's 3000. He's definitely better than me, he's very, very strong. But I need to get into the top 30. Probably need to make it to a ranking of 2800, so call it roughly 3000. So we're going to go give it a go and see how it goes. And I thought I'd vlog it and talk about the games as I play, so maybe you can pick something up too as I go along. So let's dive right in and try and find a match. Okay, so there's a 7-point challenge by a player that's 1850. He doesn't look like he's there. You know what? I can create a game. Match length, let's say a 5-point match. Normal clock gives us time to discuss the moves, see if anyone wants to play. Okay, so we got a challenger. He's a 2200, so he's a slightly higher rating than me already. Let's see how he plays. Now, the interesting thing about this site is you don't just win ranking points by winning matches. You have to also outplay your opponent. So it's very, very clever. The site instantly analyzes all your moves and gives you a rating at the end of the match. And the only way you can improve your rating is not only to win the match, but to outplay them according to the PR ranking. So we're diving in with a 5-point match, and we've got our first cube decision. Do we double this? We've got an anchor, we've got a strong board. He's stuck back on the ace. We're shooting at 4s. Might be a little early, but I'm going to double this. It's a 5-point match. It's a kind of gammonish type scenario. Give him the problem. So it wasn't a great roll. We didn't hit or roll a double. So that's the 6. So we can either slot the 4-point or bring another builder down. Let's do this. We're in great shape if he doesn't roll a 6, which he did. And he escapes, hitting and escaping. So maybe the cube is a little early because a scenario like this, we've already gone dog. We'll find out in the analysis afterwards, and I'll go over all my mistakes and hopefully learn something for myself, and maybe you might learn something too to improve your backgammon. And so this is the one reason why it may have been a double, because even when this kind of scenario happens, which is pretty bad, your opponent's nowhere near a recube, and we've still got pretty good chances to win the game. We've got race, we've got anchor. He's thinking about recubing here, but it's a little early. I think he wants to safety this block first, and he hasn't got very many market losers. So we want to make the point, but then where's the 5? We're unlikely to get a shot this goes, so we just come around the corner and we can make the point next time. And the race is, I mean, we're dog, but we've still got some racing chances, some hitting chances. There's only 10 pips in the race, so fairly long race. So even after all this adverse scenario, we haven't been redoubled. So I think he's just going to switch to make the 9 point and bring a checker in from 8 to 6. There's not really much else to do. He's having a think and running down his clock a little bit. But we've got plenty of time. I think you get 9 seconds to move, and if you take longer than 9 seconds, it starts eating into your clock. But we should never really be under time pressure, even though I'm discussing the moves. And if I did take a long time and we run our clock down almost to 0, I can always play the remainder of the match pretty much instantaneously moving if I need to. So he took a long time over that and found what I think is the right play. We roll double 4, which is good for the race, but we don't escape. So we can make the deuce and play something like this, keeping the mid, or we can just come down and play something like this, which is good for the race. We're not really getting a shot next time. Don't think there's much in it. I marginally prefer this because we're going to have to break the mid next time, and this is better for the race. We're not getting a shot with any number he rolls. Oh, here's a good roll. So double 3, 2 is clear. And now, do we stay here and build the board, or do we run? And we don't normally like running if we're behind in the race, but we're 7 pips up. He's on roll. It's a very close race. He's got the cue. I think this is better. I think contact favors him if we stay back on the bar, because we're gonna be the ones having to run off it if we don't run a double later. We need a shot. This has worked out obviously pretty nicely, rolling a couple of doubles and falling back on our race lead, and now we just have to bring the position home. Not really much to say here. So if we win this game, we go 2-0 up to 5, which is 3 away, 5 away. I think that would make us about a 65-35 favourite, but I'm a little bit rusty on match equities because I usually play for money. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more thinking about the match equity tables and different theories, how you change your cube action especially, and sometimes checker play depending on the match length and the scores. And I haven't really played matches very consistently for I don't know, at least a decade, maybe longer. I don't really play tournaments anymore. They're quite time consuming, and to be honest, the stakes aren't really high enough to make it interesting for me. I prefer to play for money games occasionally for much higher stakes, like minimum $100 a point, or just practice on my own versus XG, say 10 money games when I'm bored and in the mood, just to keep my eye in. But if I want to improve and make the top 30, I'm going to have to get used to match scores again. Okay, so we're 2-0 up to 5. I'll just come around the corner here. Here's the 4. There's no really great 6. If we come out, we just get hit. We're down in the race anyway. So I think we slot the bar here. Play pure, put the checkers where we want them. He's going to point on us and make the 11. So it's a good comeback. So we hit with the deuce. Now often it's right to step out when he's on the bar. This is quite interesting. We can either just come in here and hope to make the prime and escape later. Gives us 3 builders and a solid structure and no shots. Or whilst he's on the bar, we can do this. It leaves quite a lot of shots. Double 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 4, 1. Or all the entry numbers were 4s and 6s, but I think it's the right time to come out and challenge to make the bar. If he hits us, we get returns like this: 1625, 426, 1626. So this isn't a great scenario, and we're going to get cubed. No. Okay, so he's made a big blunder not cubing this. This was wouldn't have been probably a pass. Certainly wouldn't have been an easy take. And now he probably goes too good and he decides to double. So what we know is that we're pretty much guaranteed to win this PR battle because he's not playing particularly great, to be honest. He's just made a couple of blunders. So we just have to concentrate on winning the game now to make sure my ranking improves. So we're still 2-1 up to 5. He's going to make the 5-point and come 24 to 18. There's nothing really else to play. We roll double 6, so this is 2 for sure. Now we've got 2 more, and we've got to decide what to do. We could point on the ace, turn this into a blitz. It's a bit ugly, but he's got 2 on the bar. It gives us time to escape. Or the other play, I guess, is just 2-point can't be as good. So the other player is escaping and coming around the corner. Looks pretty, but it gives him 1, 6s, 4s. So I think we're going to make the blitz play here. Yeah. So now we make the 4-point. Okay, we leave 3s, but it's pretty important for the whole game to have a nice structure. We fight to try and escape. A little bit of cat and mouse here. We roll double 3, so we enter with 1 and we've got 3 3s to play. So obviously we like to do this, but then where's the last one? It's pretty much has to be this, which is wide open, leaving him 5s and 1s and 3s and 6s, etc. But what's the other play? These are blocked at the back. And the other play is this. But I just don't think it's as good, so we're going to just put our faith in the board and shut our eyes to all these blots. And when we're up in the match, we don't want it to be a volatile position, which is gammonish. But I think we didn't really have a choice there. We've got a 4-point board versus a 2-point board, a race lead. Okay, so we've left blots. Hopefully returns, and a long way to go. We rolled a joker coming in and hitting, and now he's fanned, and now we have a decision. So we're well ahead, but we're 2-1 up. So this, I mean, for money, this is for sure a recube. But it's just one of these positions in the match score where I don't think you want to double, because a lot of our wins are gammons anyway now, which would take us to 4 away, 4-1, which is 1 away, 4 away, 50, 70, 75, anything about 8, only leaves him 17%. Would be 83. And if we cube, he can just cube back and put the match on the line, and we blow our race lead. So I think we're going to take a shake here, and we can play quite aggressively for the gammon, hitting with a 6 and just coming in with a 4. And again, we don't want to touch the cube here. We haven't won this game, but most of our wins are gammons, so let's try and roll a 5. 6. Now we've got a 1 to play. We could just place 4 to 3, but that leaves us some awkward numbers. Or this. He's got 2 on the bar, so no direct shots, but then there might be some blots. It's just more flexible. So if we do this, are there any bad numbers? I just feel like doing this. Okay. Now, really, So this hasn't gone really very well. Now, finally a 5. And he hasn't come in for a long time either. So that's the only 4. If we stay there, we get hit by... No, nothing hits either way. So we probably just want to come closer to home. He comes in, points on us. And now we're going to get... Well, so now he doubles when he might have gone too good. So we just lost this game. At least we didn't double and he sort of put the match on the line. We're still 2-all, so 3 away, 50%, and now we're in a 3-point match. That could have closed out the match or got pretty close to it. The last game, it didn't really work out. I'm going to put that behind us, so I'm not... Well, he's doubling here. Pretty easy take. I've got a race lead. He's got 2 men stuck on the ace. Okay, he's got a better board, but so what? There's so far to go. Okay, we've got a decision here. We can hit and escape, but we get hit back with all 3s and 5s except 6 3 6 5. So that's 16 shots plus 3 6 hits as well. This is wide open, and the other play is just to make the bar. Gives us a structure, but the problem is we get hit by 1 6 2 5 3 4 double 4 3 5 2 6 anyway, and he's got 6 1 4 1 to make the bar. I just think it's too passive. I think we've got to do it. Okay, he's got a 3-point board, but the upside's so big when it works. I think when we don't get hit back, it's worth it. Having my breakfast shake, some acai berries, porridge oats, cashew milk, all blended up. Maybe it will get me playing better backgammon this morning as I practice with this Mochy challenge. Okay, we come in with the deuce. We've got a 5 to play. We're going to leave a shot anyway, so we may as well hit. So now we've got a 3-1. We'd like to make the 5-point like this, unstacking the 6-point, making our best point on the board. But it leaves deuces, and he can do so much on this side of the bar. I think here we unstack the 6 and we come to the edge of the prime. It's got to be better because if he makes the bar, we can still escape with a direct 6. Here he can't do everything in one go. It's also 1 for your block. We don't want to get gammon to lose the match here. If we lose a single game, he goes 4, 2 up to 5, which is 1 away, 3 away for 75%. So we're still going to have 25% match winning chances, even if we lose a single game. I could come in with a 1 and play the deuce here, but it's a bit loose with all these blots and it strips the mid. I think we don't love it, but I think we're going to have to just play this pretty ugly consolidation play. So now I think his right play is to switch and switch the 10-point to the 9-point also. It puts us on the bar against the 3-point board, and he's got the 8 and 9-point bearing on the open 3 and 4 points. So he's made a pretty horrible play. There's the 4. And now I think that's just a bit too stacked. We might get gammon anyway. We may as well bring a blot down, which is constructive if he doesn't roll well like this. Well, if he doesn't hit us, we can counter prime or escape now with a 5, which we have. Now he's rolled 2 double fives in a row, so whilst we've escaped, we've actually gone underdog in the race. We were down 7 before this roll, 108 pips to 115. Now we're down 27. So we're going to have to try our best to contain this last checker. And we make the bar. And we're not really close to a cube yet because we haven't got many builders to fill in these holes. There's the 6. I could come down with the 1 or stay here. I think I prefer this, even though it needs the double 4, but double 4 is pretty much gin for him anyway because he's winning the race. And now if we can make 1 point here, we're going to have a very strong cube, but we can't. Now if we come down with like this, there's no shots, but if he escapes, we've just lost. I think it's a bit ugly, but if we play this, we've still got the same builders bearing on the 4 and 5 point, and this spare on the 3 can be used to attack him. This isn't great. If we play safe, we're down 14 in the race, but he might not escape unless he rolls a 5 or a 6 or a 1 or 4, which is 21 out of 36 times. But the other play, if we hit with a 4, where's the 6? We'd have to leave another. I mean, it's a massacre. We'd get gammoned. We'd have to do something like this. So that's the 6, and I think we're just going to do this. Anyway, my clock's really under time pressure now, so I'm going to have to pretty much play instantaneously the rest of this match. Without thinking too much, otherwise I'm going to lose on time. I'll try and still make a few observations as we go along. But unless we roll super well, we're going to lose this game now and go. He's going to be 4-2 up Crawford, so we're going to have to win 2 games on the trot to turn this match around. So this one was quite an interesting game, quite a few decisions to make, different types of games, whether to turn it into a blitz, whether to attack, to try and contain a checker. And after we finish the match, we'll go through and see if we made some right and wrong decisions, learn from them, analyze it. Oh, here we go. So if he was 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 3-2, we would have won that game, but it wasn't to be. That's the right response back. We don't double hit. Now, at this score, there's no value in winning a gammon because if we win a single game with 4-away, 3-away, we're going to cube 4-3 to 5. We're going to cube the next game on the first roll, and the match is up on the line as a 1 point double DMP, double match point, effectively. The same if we win a gammon. So we've got no interest in winning a gammon. We just treat this like a double match point. It's a straight shootout race. All we win by winning a gammon is a free pass, which is not really worth very much. So here we can anchor, I think, slot and duplicate some 4s, which are good for him on the other side and gives us equity for the whole game having this anchor. And now I have to play pretty fast because the clock's there, but somehow I wonder if that's such a bad thing. Often first instinct's right. We hit here because he's got a blot. We want to keep him busy and take away half his roll so he can't come in and cover it so easily. Now he's just going to come in and play all 3 out and he'll have a small race lead. Don't really see much else. We're behind in the race, so that's the 1, and 2 come in to give us another builder. Fan, 5 covers, 6 out, keeping connection between the 2 checkers. Now we just want to come home. Can't really see how to do it here. There's the 4. Just come towards home, bring builders in. Like we said before, no interest in the gammon, we just want to escape, nothing clever. Bring the checkers home. Yeah. Maybe making some slightly wrong technical plays, but there shouldn't be blunders, that's for sure. Under time pressure, I'm not really going to think about it too much. Slightly awkward now to clear the bar at the midpoint. Maybe because of the way I played some other rolls. Now we could hit here, but we don't really want to get hit back. We don't need to. I think this is just a nice point to make. Helps us come home. Fewer bad numbers for us. Even point on him with 4-1 now, with double 4. Now he has to stay here. He's got no risk if he runs. He's got to stay on the 20, not worry about being hit or kicked and passed. He did that. Now this is pretty ugly. I could do this, or I could just come down here. I don't know. Whoops. Clock's getting close, I shouldn't think. Play the passive play. Hope to pick and pass or roll a double. One downside of not making an aggressive play now is he's building his board. It's worse for us when we do get hit. I could hit again here. It may have been right to hit there because he's got a block on the 5-point open, and now my sixes are going to be ugly, except for double 6. But I decided to not pay now and rather pay later. And the advantage of that is you may never have to pay at all if you roll a joker double like I just did. But I'm not sure it was right. We'll check it out afterwards. It's not so easy when you're under time pressure. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to win a single game, and it's going to be 4-3. I'm going to double when it's my first turn the next go, and the match is going to be on the line. He rolls 3-2, he wins the opening roll. I'm going to double. He's the favourite because he won the opening roll, so he should take. Even though 3-2 isn't a great roll, I think he's still favourite. Passed. Maybe it's a pass after 3-2. It's not a great roll. Now there's no more cube. It's 4-all. And the match is on the line. I could hit, but that leaves lots of returns. I think often when you roll a 6-5, you just want to stick with that game plan and run. Try and scamper home. And now the position's transposed to a race or some kind of holding game. He's got the 18-point anchor and a fairly close race. So this is pretty close game now for the match. I'm a small favourite. There's not really that much play. He's not going to leave a shot now, so I just spread the checkers. It's good for the race. I can build the board. We're not in a rush. Well, we're in a rush to race, but we're not in a rush to build the board. Just keeping our checkers nice and smooth. Make sure we have no bad numbers. He's not going to be running off the anchor. So we can build the board the next time. Okay, so we're 9 down. I'm not going to clear the mid here because he's on roll. So I think he's a small favourite in the race, so contact favours us more than him. He may have to leave a shot. We haven't. We don't waste much of the race playing in board anyway. Now it's just a straight up race where, unfortunately, it looks like we're going to lose. C'est la vie. But even though we've lost the 5-point match, by the looks of it, we may not, very unlikely to lose, what did I do that? Any ratings points. It would probably be a wash from ratings points because my guess is we outplayed, what's his name? Gallantry, the opponent, quite comfortably in the PR battle. And this is such a skill-based site that you have to, in order to improve your rating, you also have to outplay your opponent. They can't just get lucky on you and go up the ratings and cost you points. You never know, we may have a shake, a double six at this match or something. Looking unlikely now. Double five, double six, that would give him a scare. Not to be. So last chance, double five, double six, no. Okay, so we lost the match, but now we get to see the ratings. Okay. I played 2.41, which the computer's saying it's pretty cool how it gives you the analysis so far. 2.41, which is Grandmaster. That's pretty good. If I always played 2.41, I'd probably be number one on this site. I don't even think Zidinka averages 2.41. So it's a good start for my vlogging. And Gallantry played 4.49, which isn't actually that bad, but he was outplayed by me, so no change in the rankings. Now, the most important thing when you're practicing is to analyze the mistakes, so we can straight away go and have a quick look at some of the errors without even needing to download it into XG. We could also import the match into XG. I might do that another time, and it's a slightly more comprehensive analysis, and we can roll some stuff out. But here, okay, so with the white checkers, so we'll just go through the games for our mistakes, not bother with his, otherwise it takes too long. Okay, so this was a small, well, actually quite a big no double by 0.07. It's just too early in the game. Even if we hit, we might not even lose our market if he comes in, or lose it by much. This was too aggressive. I don't think in a normal game of backgammon I would double, but when you're playing an opponent who's 2200, I thought there was a pretty good chance. Well, he might pass and play for high stakes, but it's just not a double because you just don't have enough market losers. I agree. It's just not high enough to double here. So our first checker play error was double four. It was a small one. The right play is just to come down from the mid and make the 2 point. I came down from the mid and brought the other checkers in, so that's not really a big deal, to be honest. But the right idea was to break the mid, whatever, and not waste any pips in the race. At least we managed to get that right and not blunder. Okay, so there were no more errors in game one. Game two. Okay, so 6-4 to play. I was right just to pop in and out, give him 3s and 4s, slowing the bar, allowing him to hit and escape with 6s and attack us with 2s and 4s was too pure. I feel like when you're playing someone who you think you're probably going to be better than on this site, I try and make for more complicated games to mix it up, because I'm more likely to win the air raid battle the more complicated the game is, which it is, by slowing the bar, and I think that influenced me a bit. I think probably would have just popped in and out from a normal money game. And what happened here? Did I double this? I can't even remember now. What? That's strange. Sorry. Okay, so nothing. There was no extra mistakes in that game. Sorry, on white, so let's just look through. This was an error here to make the 4 point. Oh, interesting. So this was a 0.03 error, small error. I would have been better just to play 15 to 13 and dump the checker from the 6 to the 2. And looking at it now, it's obvious why. It's no blots, you've got a race lead, you're unstacking the 6 point, and you just sit back. There's no need to play big. I mean, I just thought because of the extra spares on the 8 and 4, it was a natural place for these checkers to go and play purely. We have a 3 point board versus a 2 point board, but we just don't want to be hit. We're ahead in the race, we've got to stick to the game plan. That was a nice one to get wrong. So, I made a huge blunder here with the double threes. It was right just to come down and make the 10 and slot the 3 point. And I came in and made the 10 point, leaving all these blots. So the 3 point we can basically make later. It wasn't worth leaving all those blots. That was a pretty horrible one. And often when you make the big blunders, it's nearly always with the doubles because there's so many extra choices. When you have a regular roll, there's only so many combos. When it's a double, there's so many different ways you can often go, like strategically in the game. So many more decisions. Your blunders are most likely to come from that. So I made a 0.05 here. It's interesting. 23-18, you come up with a 5 is forced. And a 1, it's an error to play 2 to 1. I should have played 4 to 3. I can't see any logical reason for that. In fact, I think I'm going to take a picture of this one and post it on XG Galaxy forum and ask any experts if there can be a reason. I'll probably roll it out first on Snowy XG, but this just seems like a quirk of the analysis. Like, I don't often say the computer's wrong, but I can't possibly see a reason why it's so much better to play 4 to 3 than 2 to 1. It just doesn't make any sense at all. But maybe I'm missing something, who knows. I'll have a think about it and come back and maybe discuss it a bit more. So moving on to game 4. I made an error with a 4-2, so we had to come in with a 4. And coming down to the 11 was just a bit loose, leaving that extra blot. I should have just played passively 8-6. I guess we get Gammon with the extra blot lying around and he can attack us. We don't want that liability. I thought we wanted to be a bit more flexible, but it wasn't worth the risk. Game 5. Doesn't seem like there are any errors. Game 6 was a quick one. Oh, let's just have a look at the drop. Yeah, he was correct to drop this at 3-2. So even though he rolled 3-2 is only 5 pips, it doesn't, even the way he's playing it isn't the best move for double match point. You should play 21 and 11. You're a dog, and it makes sense to drop it. Sorry, I missed the last game, but I think that was a long enough session for a first stream or recording, and I hope you got something out of it or learned something. I will hopefully do a few more of these and get better at it, explain myself a bit more clearly, but it was kind of fun to have a go, and I'll see you soon. Good luck playing out there.